Good morning, everyone. So far, you understood the control of SPC, static var compensator. There are two kinds of SPCs, FC TCR type and TSC TCR type SPCs. So, in the last classes, I have explained that the control phenomena of FC TCR type SPC and its drawbacks, and then we considered the TSC TCR type SPC for better control and operation. So in FC TCR type SPC, TCR is bulky and hence the THD content is very high, the total harmonic distortion. Therefore, we went to TSC TCR type SPC, in which the control is somewhat difficult compared to FC TCR type SPC, but at the same time there is a possibility of getting reduced size of TCR and hence the total harmonics distortion is very low compared to FC TCR type SPC. And sometimes for dynamic performance, improvement in the dynamic performance, we had STATCOM, static shunt synchronous compensator, which is most suitable to faulty condition operation of the power system. So the operation of the power system and fault conditions. Therefore, we need to understand the basic control phenomenon of STATCOM, the operation of the STATCOM and its internal control. We need to understand very clearly. It is very important and we need to understand thoroughly what is the significance and operation of STATCOM or VSC voltage source converter, and how to control it for reactive power support using different internal control mechanisms. That is the STATCOM. So coming to the operation of the STATCOM, it is very evident that synchronous condenser operation, you know that synchronous condenser is specially designed synchronous motor. It is operating under no load. It will take active power towards the no load losses, and it is designed to supply both leading as well as lagging reactive power required by the system. So by controlling the back EMF EB, we can control the reactive power supplied by the synchronous condenser. The control of EB depends on excitation control. The excitation can be controlled from its normal operation or nominal operation. Normal excitation, if the excitation is increased beyond that, that is the over excitation. When the excitation is decreased from the nominal excitation, then it is said to be under excitation. From over and under excitations, we can understand from V and inverted V curves of the synchronous machine, so how it is capable of supplying both leading as well as lagging reactive power to the system. Coming to the disadvantages or drawbacks of the synchronous condenser, so we have already understand that it may fall out of step from the synchronism during fault conditions. The second one, so it may feed the fault current during fault conditions. These two are the disadvantages. Apart from that, So synchronous condenser is very useful for providing leading and lagging reactive power required by the system. In the similar manner, you have voltage source converter operation as well as control. Now let us look at the VSC, that is STATCOM operation. So first let us review the synchronous condenser. So this is the bus voltage V at 0 and reactance, machine reactance. This is the back EMF at an angle delta. So the current through the machine is I. This is the excitation control, excitation field, excitation controller. So coming to the current flowing through the synchronous condenser, I is equal to bus voltage minus back EMF by Jx. It is V by X at minus 90 minus EB by X at delta minus 90. So the power equation VI conjugate is equal to P plus JQ. VI conjugate is this expression V square by X at 90 degrees minus EBV by X at 90 minus delta. So what is the Q? Reactive power supplied by the or consumed by the machine is Q is equal to imaginary part of VI conjugate, that is equal to V square by X sin 90 minus VE by X sin 90 minus delta. So sin 90 is 1, V square by X minus V EB cos delta by X. This is equal to V by X is common, V minus EB cos delta. So generally this synchronous machine is designed for providing reactive power compensation, but it is not taking any mechanical load. It consumes only small amount of no load losses. Therefore that is negligible. Cos delta is 0, delta is approximately 0, and hence cos delta is equal to 1. Therefore the equation reduces to V by X into V minus EB. So V by X is common, V minus EB is the difference between bus voltage and induced voltage. When EB is greater than V, then it is overexcited machine supplies the leading reactive power. When EB is less than V, underexcited, it supplies the lagging reactive power. Suppose the lagging reactive power. This is the functioning of your synchronous condenser. This is first slide. So coming to the operation, leading operation, V is the voltage and I is the current drawn. That current drawn is 90 degrees lagging. So this current may be changing from here to here, that is it may be 90 or less than that value. Phi is the angle between voltage and current. So this is the leading operation, and hence this is the lagging operation. Sorry, the voltage, the current is lagging behind the supply voltage. Coming to the leading operation, the current is leading behind the operating voltage with 90 degrees. So this angle may be varying from here to here. So therefore it may be varying from 0 to 90. So phi is the leading angle. When you come to V and inverted V curves of the synchronous condenser, the x-axis is field current, y-axis is armature current as well as power factor. So this is the IF versus IA at a particular point. The power factor of the machine is unity power factor corresponding to nominal excitation. The current is minimum, IA minimum. It draws minimum current at unity power factor. So this is the lagging side. When it is more than this Ia this side, lagging side, the power factor is low, less than 1, 0.9 PF lagging, 0.8 PF lagging, 0.6 PF lagging, like that. Here also the current, corresponding current is also increasing, Ia cos phi. So this is the current is equal to V by cos phi. It is increasing in lagging side, and here leading side the power factor will be 0.9 leading, 0.8 leading, unity power factor, like that. This is also varying like this, and hence synchronous condenser from V uninverted V curve, uninverted V curves, you can understand the synchronous machine is capable to supply both leading reactive power as well as lagging reactive power from the V uninverted V curves. This is the synchronous condenser operation. Coming to the voltage source converter, this is the voltage source converter. It is similar to that of your synchronous condenser. This is the coupling transformer, leakage reactance, bus voltage V at 0, internal voltage V0, the output voltage of the VSC at an angle alpha. So this is the DC voltage VDC across the capacitor, DC capacitor. The current is current flowing through the VSC. So it is capable of supplying both lagging as well as leading reactive power. If you see the equations, the current one is V minus V0 by Jx, so that is equal to V by x minus 90 degrees, V0 by x minus 90. Here assuming alpha is equal to 0, in this condition Vi conjugate is equal to power P plus Jq, that is equal to V square by x 90 minus V0 by x at 90 degrees. Q is equal to imaginary part of Vi conjugate, similar to that of our synchronous condenser, V square by x sin 90 minus V0 by x sin 90. This is equal to V square by x minus V0 by x. So V by x is taken as common. V minus V0 is the bus voltage minus VSC voltage, like synchronous condenser. When V0 is greater than V, it supplies the leading reactive power. V0 is less than V, it supplies lagging reactive power, like synchronous condenser, except that it is operating in synchronism with the system. It doesn't have any disadvantages like synchronous condenser, so during fault conditions. Therefore, the performance of this VSC is superior to that of synchronous condenser in all aspects. Coming to the in detail analysis of your VSC, voltage source converter, here pure capacitor is V and I. V0, when V0 is greater than V, Q is negative leading, Vi sin phi, phi is leading. This is the angle between V and I. Ideally, the angle between this V and I is 90 degrees leading. Similarly, in pure inductor is there. When V0 is less than V, Q is positive, that is lagging reactive power, Vi sin phi. So V is reference voltage and I is 90 degrees lagging behind. In pure inductor, the angle between these two is 90 degrees lagging. Right, like this, it will supply both leading as well as lagging reactive power to the system. Voltage source converter will act as pure capacitor as well as pure inductor by changing the angle between V and I. So coming to the voltage source converter operating as STATCOM. So this is the VSC, V supply voltage, bus voltage, or X is the reactance of coupled transformer. VSC is the voltage source converter. This is the VDC, DC voltage across the capacitance. VDC across the capacitance. It may be 2 level 6 pulse VSC or 3 level 12 pulse VSC, which is the output of the 3 level VSC is having 3 steps like this. Therefore, this is the waveform obtained from the 3 level volt VSC. We can also go for 2 level type. I will show the VSC as a 2 level 6 pulse VSC. So it is GTO. GTOs are connected like anti-parallel diodes are connected across the GTOs. Each leg is comprising of 2 GTOs and 2 diodes, phase A, phase B and phase C. All 3 phases are connected. VA, VB, VC are the 3 phase voltage sources, and VDC is the DC voltage across the capacitance. This is the 2 level VSC. Coming to the operation of the VSC, voltage source converter, as STATCOM operation. It has rectifier operation and inverter operation. In rectifier operation, you have inductive mode in which VA and IA, the angle between VA and IA is phi. IA is lagging behind the VA with angle phi. Phi is the lagging. And leading mode in the rectifier mode. In the leading mode, so IA is leading with the VA with angle phi, capacitive mode. Similarly, in inductive inverter operation also, you have inductor mode and capacitive mode, or inductive mode or capacitive mode. Here, IA and VA relationship is like this. This is the inductive mode. IA is lagging behind the voltage VA with angle phi. It is more than 90 degrees in inductive side. Here also, inverter mode, IA is leading behind the VA with phi angle with more than 90 degrees. It is in third quadrant. It is in second quadrant. Second, third, fourth. 4 quadrants. So therefore, in a nutshell, so VSC is operating as a STATCOM in 2 modes, the rectifier mode and inverter mode. In the rectifier mode, you have inductive mode as well as capacitive mode. Therefore, in the rectifier mode, it is capable of supplying lagging reactive power as well as leading reactive power required by the system. And inverter mode also, it is capable of supplying lagging reactive power as well as leading reactive power. The voltage and current phasors relationships are like this in both the modes, in rectifier mode as well as inverter mode. In the rectifier mode generally, so the angle between VA and IA in both lagging and leading modes is less than 90 degrees. In ideal case, it is 90. Similarly, in inverter mode, you have the angle between VA and IA is more than 90 degrees in both inductive and capacitive modes, and in ideal case it is 90 degrees in both the rectifier and inverter modes. So now when you look at the system, previous system, so this is the VSC, the current drawn may be I. This current may be, so when it is connected to the system, I may be lagging or leading with respect to V. When it is 90 degrees lagging, it supplies the lagging reactive power. When it is 90 degrees leading with the V, it supplies leading reactive power. In both the cases, I am showing the current direction like this. So this VSC is capable of operating in all the directions, the rectifier mode as well as inverter mode. If you look at the VI characteristics of STATCOM, it is in the inductive as well as capacitive mode. This is the capacitive mode. So this is the inductive mode. IL maximum. This is IC maximum. This is V maximum. Y axis is V, X axis is I. This is the VI characteristics of STATCOM. So therefore, the STATCOM is capable of controlling the V and I in the hatched area. So the entire hatched portion. Therefore, it is capable of controlling the angle also from 0 to 90 in both the sides, leading as well as lagging sides. And hence this is the VI characteristics of your STATCOM. So thank you one and all. We'll continue in the next video. The internal control of your STATCOM. Internal control means, so with internal control. So one is PWM, second one is VDC control. These two are the internal control modes of your STATCOM. So one is PWM control, the second one is VDC control. We will discuss our control mechanisms of both in the next video. Thank you one and all.